Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you a trick that literally fooled me so hard the first time that I watched it. But after watching it about 20 times, I finally figured out how to do it. So I'm going to show you guys the exact trick that I got fooled by, and it's just an absolutely ingenious trick. So here's the performance for what it looks like. So we can have the deck be completely shuffled by the spectator. It's a completely impromptu trick, just like this. And when the spectator is done shuffling, they would hand the cards back to me. Or actually, no, first they would actually cut off roughly half the cards, and we can eliminate the rest of the deck. So we don't really need all these cards, but we can just sort of split them out here into 3 piles, just like this, roughly, maybe a little bit more there. That would be fun. But yeah, we don't really need the rest of the deck for this trick. We only need about half of the deck. So in this trick, we're going to be testing the spectator's connection with the cards. So for this trick, we're going to have the spectator choose any pile, and that will be their pile. So they can literally point to any one. Let's say they point to this one over here. They want this as their pile. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to spread out the cards, and I'm going to show the spectator the faces in just a moment. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them to think of any one of these cards. Just look at one, remember it, think of it. Don't say it out loud or don't point to it or anything, okay? So I'm going to do this right now. And let's say the spectator is going to mentally select the 4 of hearts, okay? So the magician would have absolutely no idea that the spectator is mentally selecting the 4 of hearts. So at this point, the performer, or, magician can lose the cards in the deck just like this and shuffle it up. And if the spectator wants to shuffle, they can also shuffle these cards. So now think of this. The spectator's mentally selected card is shuffled, lost in the deck here, and they have never said it out loud. The magician has not peeked at the card or anything. It's completely unknown to the magician. So at this point, we're going to spread the cards out just like this, and we're going to be testing the spectator's connection, like I said. So all that we're going to do is we're going to have the spectator guess which pile their card is in. So we're going to hover their hands, or, they're going to hover their hand over the piles, and they're going to try and get a sense of where their card might be. And I think they might feel that it's over here. It's all up to them. But I would ask them, yes or no, is your card in here? And they wouldn't say what their card is, but ooh, look at that. They actually got it right. So the 4 of hearts is in there. The magician still doesn't know what the card is, but the spectator, they would say, yes, my card is in there. Okay, perfect. That's all we need to know. So now we're going to mix up the cards a little bit more, and we'll try this again. So we're going to deal out the cards just like this into 3 piles, and we're going to try to see if you can get it again. So we're just going to develop a stronger connection to the card that you thought of. Okay, so now they're going to do the exact same thing. They're just going to hover their hand over, and I think, let's see, they might go with this middle one over here. So I'd ask them once again, yes or no, is your card in here? Wow, oh my god, it is. So they would say yes. And still the magician has no idea what card they thought of, and they would say, wow, that's actually pretty amazing. So one more time, we'll see if you can really develop a strong connection with this. So we'll spread the cards out one more time, just like this, and all I'm going to have you do is the exact same thing. Just hover your hand over the piles, try and figure out which one has your card. So now they're going to go over the piles just like this, and I think they're feeling it in the middle one again, so they would point to this one. And I would ask them, yes or no, is your card in here? And they would say, yes, my card is in there. So wow, they've developed an extremely strong connection with the card, and the magician still has no idea what it is. So the magician says, okay, now we're going to try something impossible. So I'm going to give the deck to you, the spectator. Spectator is holding the deck now. And I'm going to ask you to do this. I'm going to tell you, just slowly deal the cards face down onto the table, one at a time. And whenever you feel that you're arriving at your card, I just want you to stop, okay? Just freeze where you are and go. They're going to do this silently to themselves, okay? And they stop right here. I asked them for the first time to name their thought of card. That is very important. Thought of card. Mentally selected. Never said it out loud. Sorry about that. They would ask, or I would ask them, and they would say 4 of hearts, and boom. Fooled, right? That is just, wow, so impossible. And don't worry, you guys won't be fooled for long because I'm going to show you guys how you can perform this right now. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So when I figured out the secret for this trick, I was extremely angry because I could have been performing this trick way sooner. I realized that this trick is only 2 tricks that I've actually already taught on this channel. It's only just 2 tricks that I already know combined into one effect. That is literally what this trick is. And I'll tell you what those 2 tricks are, and that will give you a hint at what the method is for this trick. So the 2 tricks that make up this trick, the 27 card trick and the psychic stop. Those are the 2 secrets to how this trick is done. Now, if you're an advanced magician and you already know how to do those things, you can probably stop watching the video and just go out and do it because it's just so easy. But if you guys get stuck or if you don't know how to do this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, stick around, watch the tutorial. It's very, very easy. This is one of the easiest tricks that actually any beginner magician can do and completely fool anybody. They will literally fool themselves when they do this trick. So it's a completely impromptu trick. The spectator can literally shuffle the deck as much as they want. The spectator is going to cut roughly half the cards. You only want 27 cards. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by taking the half that the spectator cut off, and you're just going to start dealing it into 3 groups just like this. And you're going to take 3 cards each and just deal them like this. So 1, 2, 3, 3 cards each. And you're going to do this 9 times. So that was 1, 2, 3. You would do this 6 more times to get 9, right? So that would be 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and 9. And if you have any cards left over, you just discard them. Or if you are missing any cards and you need to get 27, you can just easily grab them from the deck, and that's okay. I think I actually did that in the performance. Basically, you only want 27 cards, and no matter how many cards the spectator cuts off, you're either going to be just rearranging it so that you have 27 cards only. So when you have 27 cards, you're going to split them into 3 groups of 9. So you have 9 cards here in each pile. So you get 9 here, 9 here, and 9 here. And these are all shuffled, mixed up cards. It doesn't matter. So at this point, the spectator can point to any pile. That will be their pile. So let's say they want this one, and they are going to mentally select any card. So let's say in this trick, they are going to mentally select the Jack of Hearts. Now they can literally think of anyone, but let's say they pick the Jack of Hearts, and now you're just going to bury it in the middle of all the cards. You're going to stack them all up on each other, and you're going to have the spectator shuffle. So the spectator is going to shuffle the cards, and it really doesn't matter. The 27 card trick aspect of this trick, that part is going to fix all of this shuffling. So they are going to shuffle everything just like this, cut the cards, it doesn't matter. You're going to take the deck back, and you're just going to deal the cards into 3 alternating piles. So you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in a triangle, and that will just help you not mess up or anything. Because if you mess up the order, then this trick will not work. So just make sure you have the order in it like a triangle like this. That will just help you keep all the cards together. So when you do this, you're going to have the spectator just guess where their card is. So this entire part is all presentation and all acting. Everything now is up to the spectator. The spectator has complete control, almost complete control over what's happening. There is one little secret thing that I haven't mentioned yet, but the spectator at this point is literally going to guess wherever they want. In the performance, you might have been extremely fooled that I perfectly guessed all 3 rounds where their card was. Now that is a very, very rare occasion. Usually that will not happen, but I just had to post that performance just because it was just really, really lucky. In the real performance, that might not happen, but it's okay because you can make it seem a little bit more realistic. So the spectator is going to guess where their card was, the Jack of Hearts. And let's say they guessed the middle pile here, and let's see if they got it right. And there you go. I got it right one more time. So if they get it right, then that's perfect. So all you have to do is when they guess the pile, you're just going to spread the cards out to them and ask yes or no, is your card in there? And they're either going to say yes or no. So this time they say yes because they see their card. If they pointed to this pile and they say no, that's okay. You just eliminate it and you move on to the next one. Let's say they point to this one again. And then they would say no, and that's okay because now you know that their card is in this pile. So all you need to know is which pile their card is in. You don't need to know what their card is. For all 3 rounds, this rule applies that I'm about to tell you. This rule applies for every round. You're going to want to take the pile with their card. When you stack up the piles, just make sure the pile with their card ends up on top. So you're just going to put this one on top of all the other piles, and now the pile with their card is on the top of the deck. And now you're just going to do the exact same thing 2 more times. So you're going to deal out the cards 1 more time, exactly the same way as you did before. That's very important. So you're just going to deal the cards out again, and you're going to have the spectator guess again where their card is. So let's see if I can actually get it wrong this time. I don't know what's happening here. let's just say they guess in this pile over here. So the Jack of Hearts is their card. Magician still has no idea what it is. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. I got it again. That's actually impossible. Honestly, I have no idea what's happening. These cards are not marked, I promise. I'm literally doing this as random as possible. I'm trying to mess up, and I still cut it right. So that's pretty funny. But if this happens, that's actually perfect. So if they point to this pile and they say, yes, my card is in it, then perfect. You just take this pile and put it on top of everything. So you put it on the top of the deck. And now one more time, you're gonna do it again. So you're gonna deal out the cards into 3 piles, and exact same procedure will be for this part of the trick as well. So we're gonna square up the piles here, and they're gonna guess where it is. Let's say it's in this one. Okay, finally, I got it wrong. So let's say they get it wrong. You show them the cards, yes or no, is the card in here? They're gonna say no. You're gonna say, oh, okay, that's fine. You can try it again. So now you know it's in one of these two, so try and guess which one it's in. They're gonna say the middle one maybe. Okay, yes, they got it right. So you're gonna ask them yes or no, and they're gonna say, yes, they got it. Now you're gonna notice something here. You're gonna notice that their thought of card is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards down from this pile. Now, when you put this pile on top, because it's always the rule, you have to put the pile with their card on top. Their card will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th card, always. Even though they shuffled the cards, even though you did everything, this 27 card trick where you deal out the cards into 3 piles and stack the piles, if you go top, 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 just for this case, their thought of card will always be the 7th card. No matter which card they picked, no matter what pile it was in, their card will always end up 7th from the top. And now you guys probably already know how to do this trick. There are some outs for this if you guys are nervous about this, because this trick, this next part of the trick, does not work 100% of the time. I should have said that. Because what's going to be happening is you're going to allow the spectator themselves to deal out the cards slowly on the table, one at a time, face down. Those are very key words. You have to say slowly, one at a time, face down. Those are basically the key words that you have to say. When they do this, they're going to deal the cards down slowly. This is just like a psychological thing. You just don't mention anything about counting the cards, because they won't count the cards. They're just going to deal the cards slowly, one at a time on the table. I'd say 70% of the time, people will stop at like the 6th, 7th, or 8th card. Those are all perfectly fine places to stop. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be secretly counting the cards as they deal on the table. So you're going to be secretly counting how many cards they deal on the table. So let's say they stop at 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they stop here. You know there's 6 cards on the table, so their card is obviously here. You're going to ask them what the card was. They're going to say Jack of Hearts, and you're going to say flip over the top card in the deck in your hand. Oh my god, completely fooled, completely amazing. What if they stop at 7? That's perfect. You just say flip over this card. What if they stop at 8? Now this is where things can get a little bit weird. Now if they keep going, if they pass 7, let's say they go to like here or something, if they stop here, you just count how many cards they did, and you just can do like a triple lift or something, just like this, and you can clean it up like that, and that will still fool people. It will still completely fool people if your double lift or triple lift is clean enough. But let's say they keep dealing a bunch of cards on top, and now you just have to count how many cards they have, and you just can actually just count 7 cards on the bottom. So you're going to count in groups of 3, so you're going to count 3, 6, and then 7, and then you can just turn over, pass that card to the top and say, oh, you stopped anywhere you wanted, and there's your card. So you could do that. That is an out. But like I said, 70% of the time, if you give the right directions and you say slowly face down, one at a time on the table, most of the time they will stop at like the 6th, 7th, or 8th card. That is just very common. And that is essentially how to do the entire trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And one more thing to keep in mind, I would not perform this trick as an opener. This is not an opener trick. You have to perform this trick in the middle or towards the end of your routine. You have to perform this trick with a spectator that you know is not like a heckler, that you know will follow your directions, and that is sort of easy to influence, is sort of perfect for this trick, because those kinds of people will stop at like the 7th card perfectly, and then the trick will just be absolutely perfect. So that is just one thing to keep in mind. But anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this trick, and see you guys for my next video. Bye.
Feeling lonely again. Doesn't matter if I'm with you, 'cause my mind is always leaving me. Or can I see why they believe?